There's a storm across the valley. The clouds are rolling in. The afternoon is heavy on your shoulders. There's a truck out on the 4-lane, a mile or more away. The whining of his wheels just makes it colder.
Welcome to Community Forum, sponsored by the Shoveltown Cultural District. My name is Priscilla Almquist-Olsen, your host for Community Forum. Today is June 8th, 2021, and we are delighted to be on the stage of the Ames Memorial Hall instead of sitting in our individual homes on Zoom. We appreciate this gathering and we appreciate the people who are here. First, let me introduce Joan Lundgren. Welcome, Joan, to the Ames Memorial Hall. And Joan is the rental agent for this wonderful building, and she'll tell us a little bit about the events that are coming here, and also the ability of rental units here. So, take it away, Joan.
Thank you, and welcome everybody here tonight. We're here with the Lions Club, Easton Live, and we're here with Dave Spagone, who is our star of the evening, and he has played here before, and he'll be playing here again for us in July. We are having a series of concerts this summer, and Dave will be performing along with Jake and Jenny and some other names over the summer, so we're so pleased. And as Priscilla said, I am the rental agent for the hall, and book the hall for your wedding, your showers, your parties, and thank you.
So thank you, Joan, for being here. We thank Freddie Ames, who is the manager of this facility, for making it possible for the Lions to come, for Joni to operate, and for us to be here tonight to hear the wonderful music of Dave Spagone. So Lori, Lori Maver is the president of the Lions Club, and we welcome Lori. She will tell us a little bit briefly about the mission of the Lions Club here in Easton.
Hi everyone. As she said, my name is Lori Maver. I have the privilege of being the president of the Easton Lions Club. Second year running. Thankfully to the pandemic, we all stayed put and we decided to do an extra year. It had actually worked out rather well, even though we were cooped up inside. The Lions Club came up with a new event thanks to Marky V, and it's called Easton Live. And I'm sporting one of our t-shirts tonight, and it's all about live music, and now that the pandemic is lifting, it's now gonna be live in person.
Well, Lori, can you tell us a little bit about the Lions Club mission in general?
Yes, absolutely. So the mission in general is that we raise monies to immediately disperse right back out into the Easton community. So every dollar raised by our Easton Lions Club is going to benefit a project, a function, anything Easton community related, so we can better our own community.
Wonderful. And you have a wonderful eye research program too. So get those glasses, eyeglasses you're not using, and bring them over to the Lions thrift store on Washington Street next to the Union Villa. The Grange, right. Our Grange.
And speaking of the thrift store, if you don't mind, Saturdays 10 to 2, one of our biggest events and biggest money-raising projects.
Oh, do I know that. Joan and I never go there unless we're bringing something to donate, and then we go every week, so.
Absolutely. I see you there every Saturday.
Yes, we're uncluttering. I'm doing the art of Swedish death cleaning. Yeah. Just had to mention that. Okay, so Lori, anything else you want to add?
Just, keep your ears and eyes open. I mean, we're always doing projects. You can go to eastonlions.org, or you can find us on Facebook. We're doing all sorts of projects like the Junk Day, if you're familiar. We do a fishing derby. We're just always doing something that's out there for the community and to help it be a better
and
place.
so if you want to join this wonderful organization,
absolutely.
Please check them out online, and know that a few years back, out of the entire world, Easton Lions was voted the best Lions Club in the world.
In the world, absolutely.
So it's an organization that you can be very proud of. Okay, thank you.
And I want to, I just want to add that you can become a member, a friend of the hall, by going on our website as well, because we welcome new members and donations. Thank you.
Very nice.
Great idea. Okay.
I just want to personally thank the Fred Ames and the hall. It's a fantastic place.
Thank you. Thank you, Lori. And now we'll hear from Mark, who is the innovator of this wonderful music program. Tell us a little bit about it, Mark.
Hey, Priscilla.
Hi.
Thank you to be here.
Another lion.
Yes, another lion. I'm great to be here.
Not roaring.
So we came up with the Easton Live idea kind of out of our holiday festival. We would do a show here every year. And last year we kind of changed it up. We had Urban Lunch Meat play, which is a very popular local band. So we decided during the pandemic that people couldn't go see music. So the whole idea of Easton Live was to do a virtual music series that we did from Shoveltown Brewery. We would broadcast every week. We started February 6th, way back on February 6th. And in fact, Jake and Jenny and Dave Spagone were in our first show. So that was
the
night
I met all these great lions.
That's when we met. Yeah, it was great. So since February 6th, we've been doing it out of the Shoveltown Brewery. We had the big chance to go live last month. We had a big show here at the Oaks Ames Memorial Hall, which is great. The acoustics is nice. The stage is beautiful. The setting was great. We've done a couple shows here. One was virtual with nobody here, and then we did a live show with Dave focusing on his piano skills.
So much fun.
And that was a lot of fun. So, and it was great to have people here. We had a good handful of people. Our goal is to do more of these events, either at the hall or elsewhere. We partnered with Shoveltown Brewery. We also partner with Mockingbird Music, and we're doing some shows there. So I just want to give a shout out to them too. They're all helping us raise money. It's become a fundraiser, for the Lions Club to go back into the community of Easton. So, all in all, it's been very positive. And thank you for coming to the last show.
Oh, you're
welcome. I hope
welcome.
you're coming Thursday night.
Of course.
And then Dave's show on July 9th is going to be another big show.
Yeah, that's the one I won't ever miss.
Okay, great.
Okay. And so thank you so much, Marky. I'm able to call you Marky.
You can call me Marky, Marky V, whatever you want.
Marky V. All right, and thank you for initiating this program and carrying it through. There's publicity, but hopefully that you'll all be able to tune in to eastonlions.org. Is that right?
Yes.
The website, and check out the programs so you won't miss anything. Okay.
The other thing is this,
Thursday night.
Yes, and this Thursday, which will be the 10th of June, in 2 days.
Mike Boucher is playing.
Okay.
This Thursday night. Yep.
And that's in 2 days. All right.
Yes.
And what time will that be, Mark?
The doors open at 7. Tickets can be bought at the hall here, just in person. We also have tickets on Eventbrite and our Facebook pages. One is the Easton Lions, and one is Easton Lions Music, Arts, and Entertainment page. All has the information and the links to Eventbrite to buy tickets. You can get tickets at the door. We're going to have Shoveltown beer on hand. We're going to have refreshments on hand, and it's just going to be a really nice night.
Sounds wonderful. And for $10 a ticket, it's a wonderful, wonderful night of entertainment. And you're going to be loving all the songs that Dave plays, I know, because they're from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. The Beatles, Elton John, Billy Joel. My goodness, what do you want? Okay, thank you. So now we're going to hear a little bit of music from Dave, and then I'm going to interview Dave, and he's going to tell us all about, and his wife Jennifer, going to tell us all about his career and what he looks forward to in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. It's hot as blazes up here.
Bravo. Fabulous. As a continuation of this wonderful event tonight, I'm going to interview Dave Spagone, who's our wonderful musician who has entertained us briefly and whom you can hear for a whole hour or more concert on July 9th? July 9th, 7:30. Hall opens at 7 here at the Oaks Ames Memorial Hall. Sponsored by the Lions, $10 a ticket, really, and you can always give more, especially you might want to after you hear Dave play. So welcome, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Delighted to be here.
Yes, and we're delighted to have you. I want the audience, the Easton residents, to know that how talented some of our Easton residents are, and you're one of them that tops the list of talented people.
You're too kind.
No, I'm too honest. Too honest. Anyway, so welcome. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing and where you went to school and how you got started in the music business.
Well, I was born in Brockton, and my family moved to Easton in 1979 or 80. I was already into music. Our home on the south side of Brockton had a piano in it, and although I didn't take formal lessons, I played it a lot and started reading music sort of on my own. I did take some drum lessons formally, and by the time we moved to Easton, I went to Parkview School and I discovered Mrs. Baker was the greatest music teacher of all time, and really got me extra charged up about music and melody and more than just drums. So that was a big part of my life was Mrs. Baker there. And then at middle school, across the street next to the Rockery, I played drums in the band there with John Schuler was the director at the time. So this was the early 1980s, and so that was the beginning of my love of music and organized music, and the beginning of my life in Easton, which was great. So then I graduated from Oliver Ames, but I didn't play in the school band. By that time, I discovered rock and roll, Priscilla, and I sort of, just did my own thing and started bands and things like that, and songwriting.
Wonderful. Well, it's amazing to think that you never had a piano lesson.
I didn't have piano lessons, no, a lot of chord books, a lot of reading, a lot of lonely practice, lonely rehearsal.
And who in your family was musical?
Well, I have 4 brothers, and everybody's sort of musical, but my parents are not, which was puzzling. But I heard a lot of stories about ancestors and people long gone who were very musical on both sides of the family. So apparently, if that's where it comes from, that's where it came from.
So there apparently was a music gene that descended on you and your brothers.
Possibly, I think so, because all of us have some natural aptitude for music.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's been great in our lives.
Did you ever think about forming your own little family band?
Yes, a lot. But, always wished, my parents, put us out there like the Jackson 5, right, because that's how it would have been. But it just, it didn't happen that way. And we all kind of went our own ways. And after graduating Oliver Ames High School, I went to UMass Amherst. And that was amazing because on faculty staff there was the great Max Roach, the great jazz drummer, was my professor. He was my professor of jazz.
Wow.
So here's a man who played with Charlie Parker and all the greats, Clifford Brown and everybody great. And I got to know him one-on-one. The great Billy Taylor from Good Morning America, the piano player, he was his friend, so he would come into class and I'd watch Billy Taylor this close to his piano. And so that was an education in and of itself there at UMass. UMass and just sort of charged me up to know that music was what I wanted to do, forever.
Well, we are so happy that you have stayed in Easton too. You came as a youngster, and now you're an adult with a family, a wife Jennifer, who's
Jennifer, and my son Jason is an Oliver Ames Jr., and he plays baritone sax in all of the Oliver Ames bands, jazz, concert band, and marching.
Jason Spagone.
Yes.
So the family tradition is continuing.
The musical tradition continues, yes.
Yes. So, and tell me how you met Jennifer. I know you're in similar fields. You're in music. She's in costume design.
She's in theater, technical theater. We met at my friend's wedding. We met at a wedding, and that's where we met. And then we started dating shortly after that. And
yeah, that happens. Weddings can beget weddings, can't they?
Yes, they can. So at the very beginning of our relationship, Jennifer was just kind of dipping her toe into theater and sort of apprenticing with a great costume designer, and went full-fledged into it, at that time, and now we've been married. It'll be 20 years this year.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
So we did live elsewhere early on. We lived in North Quincy. So when I went away to college, I was away from Easton and missed it, and then we moved back here when Jennifer's great uncle his name was Norman Kelly, and he was a Metropolitan Opera star. So Jennifer has music in her family, and he died in 2006, and we now live in his house. We bought his house.
Really?
So, and that's in South Easton on Depot Street, and that's.
My goodness, I'm a townie. I grew up here. I didn't know Thomas Kelly.
Norman Kelly. Was a New Yorker. He moved here late in life after he retired.
Oh, okay.
He fell in love with the town, like a lot of people do, because he had family in the Brockton area, the Bridgewater area. So he fell in love with Easton like I did, because when I moved here, I was very struck by its natural beauty and its architectural beauty, and that's what I love most about it still.
So getting back to I know, and so do I. I came back after being away for 44 years. Yeah, so it's been wonderful. Yeah. And I'm in the house I grew up in that my father and mother built, and
great.
So it's wonderful. I'm happy to be here, and I'm sure you are too. And you're being in Norman Kelly's house.
Yes, in
wow.
Norman Kelly's house, and playing here at the hall, and becoming friends with you and with Joan Lundgren and Fred Ames. Like they're you guys are all great people. Everyone's been really nice to me, and it all sort of came about, just through the Easton Live show that the Easton Lions put on that you've been hearing so much about.
Right.
I'm very thankful to meet, you guys and all these people from town that I wouldn't have otherwise met. I did a lot of playing around New England, everywhere but around here. And around the time that Shoveltown Brewery opened down the street, there was sort of a resurgence of some live music right here in town, and now it's snowballed.
Yes.
There's at least 3 concert series this summer that I can think of that are going on.
Yes, and my programs, I'm a volunteer producer for 4 or 5 programs, and the Shoveltown Cultural District sponsors me. So they're sponsoring this community forum that we're producing right now.
They sponsored my last show. They were one of the sponsors of my last show here. So I love the Cultural Society.
Yeah, but this is the Shoveltown Cultural District. It's different from the cultural. They're two. And Carolyn.
Wrong moniker.
Yes, and Carolyn Cole is the director of the Shoveltown.
Carolyn's very nice. I met her recently.
Yes, right. So she's a big fan of yours, and you're getting a lot more fans as soon as somebody hears you, as I did.
Thanks.
I know, but you're extraordinary. and you love what you do, and you do it so effortlessly.
There's effort, but it's a lot of fun. I'm just really just having fun, and I try not to take it and myself too seriously with it, because it's just fun, and it's a way to make a few extra dollars, and I've always enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, well, I told you this before, that you sound to me like a combination of Billy Joel and Elton John in the style, and also your grovelly voice, which is, very attractive, and really it syncs with the music.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Oh, no, nothing.
Trying to achieve that sort of syncing between instrument and voice, and it's something that I enjoy tinkering with.
Yes, you call yourself a tinker. I call you a wonderful musician, and you bring a lot of joy and happiness to those of us who are listening. So next, this coming Thursday, June 10th, you won't be there. There'll be another group.
Very talented guy named Mike Boucher, and I've seen him with a small combo, drums and bass, and they're really good.
And does he live in the area?
I'm not sure he lives in Easton. I know he was featured on Easton Live weeks ago. I think his connection is through the Mockingbird School of Music, which is another sort of participant in Easton Live, and who's been very generous to it, and just another group of people across town who are really music crazed, and thank God for it.
Yes, I know. Well, Easton is, when I was growing up here, I was concert mistress in the band, the high school band, played violin, and and we had a band, and so we had a band and an orchestra. That was it. And as far as jumping live music performances, they didn't exist. It was a very sleepy town.
Yeah.
But then there were only 6,000 people when I was growing up, and now there are 24,000. So there are more demands.
It's very different.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of some of your growing up in Easton shows, a few of them just in preparation for my appearance, and I thought they were fascinating. I saw a lot of people who had a lot of Easton knowledge and Easton history, and a lot of people who'd been here a lot longer than me. And so my thought after watching them was, yes, I came to town a little later, but I feel like back in 1979 and 1980, it was still quite rural here, at least to me, coming from Brockton at the time and being a kid, and but just the dark streets and the green greenery and the abundant woods,
Yes. Yeah, we all played in the woods when we were growing up here. And by the way, Dave, you will be appearing on my Growing Up in Easton show with a friend of your choice.
Awesome.
Somebody who was growing up with you. Hopefully you can feed off each other and share stories and so forth.
That would be great. I'd be delighted to do that.
Good. Oh, I'm so glad that you looked them up. Yeah, and for all of you out there, the Growing Up in Easton series is an attempt to show what life was like in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and I guess now 80s. And some of my participants have passed on, and so I'm trying to get some of the older people also before that happens, because these stories will be lost forever. However, they are being archived at the Easton Historical Society, so and you can also go on eastoncat.live online, eastoncat.live online, click on series, go down to the bottom, that's where I am, and click on Growing Up in Easton or Community Forum. You can see this program again online at your convenience, anytime.
I remember that's what you told. That's how I found it. You told me, you said, click on there and go all the way to the bottom, and there I am, and I found him.
That's it.
I enjoyed watching them.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's been great. And tell me, what you take music from all periods. and you do every one of them so well, and there's a lot of them are sing-alongs. And do you find when you look out at the audience that people are sort of singing along with you?
Sometimes
Or mouthing?
they are, sometimes
Yes.
not. Different audiences behave different ways. I'm not the most, in my opinion, I'm not the most exciting, rile 'em up showman around. I think there's people who do that a lot better than I do. I've just always sort of tried to sound my best, tried to think with the audience in mind and not myself, and tried to pick songs that, although popular, might not be the songs that every bloke out there is playing,
Yeah.
Just try to pick some vintage gems that, I don't know.
Well, you're
Sometimes I try
good.
to challenge myself with something. I never hear anybody play this out, so then I try songs like that. I like to incorporate those too.
That's wonderful, yeah. And
From all eras.
yes, from all eras. So, July 9th, 2021, write it down.
Here at the hall, I'm going to do another Easton Live show. So that'll be broadcast on ECAT Live and Facebook live streamed, and also I think tickets will be available, as they have been now for all of these recent shows.
Yes, and it'll be available after the live performance on not only on the cable stations, but on eastoncat.org.
Great.
So check it out. And if you have, I imagine people ask you to play at their weddings, don't they?
I do. I've played a lot of weddings, and I've been playing so long that people whose weddings I played, when we were all after college, now I'm playing their
children's
anniversary parties, their 50th birthdays, so I do get a lot of repeat business. I do approach it like a businessman.
Yes. Well, I imagine you're playing you're playing for some of the weddings of the children of the weddings you played for.
I've had some generational gigs, Priscilla, where I've played a wedding and then maybe the wedding of cousins and children, and
Yeah.
been doing it a long time.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure everybody loves it. And have you ever done any sing-alongs?
I sing along every opportunity I get. So.
No, what I meant was, in Sweden, one of the other programs I have is called Snippets from Sweden. And that's I lived there for 3 months with my cousin.
I heard you cursing in Swedish.
I was, yes.
Sorry about that.
Only Joan Lundgren knew what I was saying.
It was during tech setup, so it was excusable.
Exactly. Anyway, you're funny. But in one of those is a sing-along, and they're very popular in Sweden. So you have a fiddler, maybe a keyboard player. My cousin's Margarita's son Örjan plays the accordion, and they're all up there playing Swedish folk music, and people are sitting in long tables and opposite each other and drinking.
Singing their hearts out.
Drinking wine or stronger or whatever.
Glass of something.
Glass of water, and everybody sings along. And sheet music is passed out, so people who might not remember the words can sing along. And one of the, I don't know if it's on those snippets from Sweden, but once at one of those that my cousin Örjan was playing the accordion, all of a sudden it's not Swedish folk songs, it's "Love me tender, love me true, never let me go."
A gem like that cuts right through the ages.
So I had to stand up and sing it with my cousin's.
Of course you did.
My cousin's son, Örjan, yeah. And it was so much fun. But
it sounds like fun. So the answer is yes, I've done a sing-along. When my son was in Cub Scouts, I would play guitar for the boys, and we did, one night, we handed out the lyrics of Woody Guthrie songs, and This Land Is Your Land, and a bunch of old-timey folk songs and America songs. So,
Pete Seeger songs?
Yes, I've done a sing-along.
I think it would be a great thing to do, and this hall with its acoustics would be fabulous. So maybe when the weather's a little bit cooler, we could do something like that, have a sing-along.
Priscilla, I'll participate in your sing-along anytime.
Oh, thank you so much, Dave. All right, and we thank you so much for joining us tonight.
As I said, it was my pleasure. I'm delighted to be here. It's
Yeah,
great.
and we're delighted to hear your music. And once again, July 9th, 7:30, the Oak Sands Memorial Hall is opened at 7 o'clock. Tickets are mere $10, and you'll want to donate more after. All the proceeds benefit the Lions, and all that money is returned to Easton, whether it's in scholarships to graduating seniors or other worthy causes, food pantry, and so forth. Thank you so much for joining. Hope this is Community Forum. Priscilla Almquist-Olsen bidding good night. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, be well.